Hello, Gilded Vale. You're looking very rainy and sad this time of year. As you do. Windmill, Ingrid's house. Smithery, road east, south, west. Am I crazy, or can I not actually visit the asshole who is responsible for everything? Windmill, Ingrid's house. Temple of Eothas. Alpha's house, Blackhound Inn. I kind of want to double check that I've done all the right houses. Maybe I just can't follow up on this yet. I feel like this is all building up to an interaction with Roderick, the douchebag, who is the biggest douchebag. He's the Witchfinder General of this particular storyline. But I don't think I've had any connective tissue leading to that so far. Oh god. Oh god, what have I done? I had like a notification, so I picked up my phone about something because I was just trying to keep track of Discord. I don't randomly check my phone for notifications all the time, it's just I try to keep track of what's happening in the multiplayer Discord in case some kind of plans are taking fold. I can't go this way. And I pick up the phone and it's just fucking wet. And I'm like, ah! Why? What did I do? I'll solve that mystery later. Okay, so these houses are inaccessible. This house doesn't have a door either. It's funny internal logic that if the door doesn't face south, I can't enter that building, which is funny because it's not a 3D game. It's a pre-rendered, like rasterized image, like in Diablo 2, and probably 1, I guess 2. So can't really like go other places. I don't know if there's consequences for being in fast mode, because the time moves faster. So I guess that's the thing, is you characters might get tired faster, which leads me to me resting, which leads to... Yeah, I don't think going to different doors leads to you actually exiting in different directions. I don't think that's how doors work in this game. The external paths, I mean. So no, I think we're just gonna go to Magron's Fork and check it out. I don't think I can go to, the home of the base of operations for the douchey guy who runs this place and like confront him about this shit. I have made a mistake. I'll just load. That makes more sense. I forgot. I need to visit the house of our murder victim and see if they're still there. I don't really think they will be, but I should check. Ingrid's house. There we go. I am arrived. Oh, they're actually still here. I know what really happened in that bear cave, Nanton. The color drains from Nanton's face. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? Ingrid looks to Nanton, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss. But it was a wild animal's doing. Nanton shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands. What would make you suggest such a thing? Stop. I have no patience for cowards and liars. Nanton flinches, but meets your gaze. After a moment, he sets his jaw and nods. Fine. I confess it. I did it. I saw to it he'd never leave that cave. His hand falls to his sword belt, and I'd do it again. Nanton, wait! Ingrid raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, he was as much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. She looks away, expression pained. Nanton, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, who cared for me. Please, All we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. She looks down at the satchels. We've got some coin saved up. You could have it. If only you let us go. Blah. This is always the struggle with these kinds of RPGs, is that you're given a thing where you just have to deal with the story on face value. Like, are they just lying to you or not? Is the best you can go out. There's no... I don't think there's any hints of, like, evidence to go by or anything like that. She could be fabricating this entire story about what happened. Although she maybe didn't have it prepared, so the fact that she has the story prepared now, she's either really good at lying on the spot, or it's just the actual truth. But it's the type of additional detail that perfectly slots into the existing information, and so it's possible. But it's completely possible that she just straight up, they just did it this spitefully. And it's really hard to know. And we didn't get to talk to the guy, really, about his relationship. So we didn't get to hear, like, the perspective of an abuser to give away that he was that kind of person or anything. Instead, all we got, the closest we got is that his response was rage, but we can't differentiate whether or not it's the rage of somebody who feels like they have control over other people and is entitled to it, or if it's just the rage of somebody who was betrayed and murdered, because that was also what happened. So it's hard to say. Something that stands out to me as a little odd is that she said that when she met Pearly, she knew she met someone special, someone kind. So it seems like that's when they hatched this plan to get rid of him. But from his perspective, when we saw the ghost's vision of his death, he referred to Pearly as his, to Naughton as his friend, not Pearly, sorry. Pearly referred to Naughton as his friend. That was his perspective when he thought of him going through and doing all that. So it was a betrayal from a friend. So did he already know Naughton the whole time, and then Naughton met his wife, and then they hatched the scheme? Or did Naughton actually go to such lengths to make the scheme work that he befriended Pearly for who knows how long, all to make this happen? Or is it a mistake that they were friends at all, and maybe they weren't friends, and that just was maybe a gap in the writing? If I take everything at face value, that's the closest thing to a contradiction, is the idea that the person, because it almost sounds like Ingrid met Naughton independently, and then Naughton schemed to kill the husband, or they both did, and then so the idea that the husband saw him as a friend makes me question the origin of that. But I don't think I even get to. I don't get to question further or like probe for contradictions or anything. So in many cases, you kind of just have to accept that whatever story comes out in these situations is true. It's something that I'm just kind of slightly uncomfortable with from game to game, but it's just kind of part of the genre. It's just, you get quest about thing, and oh, it seems like it's this way, but it's actually this way. And then you have to react to that new information at face value. But a couple of games, I think, here and there have betrayed me by being like, and actually the new detail was a lie! And this is where a really fun detail in D&D is to have insight checks, which is you have this insight ability where you can specifically roll a check on whether or not you believe someone, basically. And it still can be, you're still exposed to being lied to, because you can fail an insight check, but it gives you some tool for probing whether or not somebody's telling the truth, and like, it makes it a skill check, pass-fail, as opposed to just the usual thing that most RPGs have, where you just kind of have to hope everything, all the information given to you is true at the moment, which is often the case. When you get to the end of the quest, usually all the cards are revealed, and that's just the truth. And lying just isn't perceived as an option for most characters at that stage of the storyline. I don't know. I'm gonna assume that they're telling the truth, even though they've been duplicitous by nature at this point. Because even the, yeah. When you even look at the dialogue choices, none of them are interpretable. Maybe a little bit. None of them seem like they imply that our character thinks that they're lying. It's instead mostly justifications of like reacting to what they said as being truth, but whatever your reasons, you did kill somebody and stuff like that. So you're just justifying whether or not it's okay to murder somebody in their situation, more so than wondering if they're telling the truth at all. So if we're gonna assume they're telling the truth, I'm gonna say, I don't need your coin. Go. Get out of my sight. Ingrid breathes out shakily. Yes, we will. Thank you. Thank you for your compassion. Let's go, Naughton. We've a long way ahead of us. That is a... wow. You do not get tiny particles of experience in this game. You go do a quest, and at least in this point in the story, you're getting like a fourth of a level out of it. I'm just constantly surprised by that. The big leaps forward. Even though I've been playing for hours at this point, and I'm only level 3. But that's more to do with the pacing of the genre than anything else. Hey. There's a little plant over here. Barath's Bell. Alright, let's get back to where we were a moment ago. Magran's Fork. Unexplored. Henceforth. I don't know why I said henceforth. It's fine. Doggy don't go stealth mode. Doggy just blows our cover like an idiot. No, Doggy. Doggy, you're gonna get us all killed. Doggy, no. You just have to hope that they just don't count, basically. I'll start by exploring the path, I suppose. But you know I'm just gonna fill this map in sooner or later. Speaking of which, I don't think any of our quests actually talk about Magran's Fork, right? Magran's Fork, because this is at Cadnua. And the Callista's sister was... yeah, that was Anslog's Compass, and this was Black Meadow. So this is just a... this is a self-contained location, where any stuff involved in it don't involve stuff we've already encountered before.
Saw you in the flames.
Well, howdy, Durance. Squatting at the base of this statue is an incredibly ugly man. Whoa. With bulging red cheeks raked by pox scars and a scraggly beard. He is sweating, as if he has a fever, but his breathing is measured and steady, like a slow push of a blacksmith's bellows. But that comparison feels strange and unwelcome. The next comparison, possibly sparked by his grin, is that of a bear trap, and then, out of nowhere, there's this hint of alchemical fire that fades almost as soon as you identify the smell.
Come to pray at the statue?
The question mark is barely there. As the man makes the statement, the statue takes on a reddish cast, as if one is holding a torch to it, then slowly blossoms into waving flames. The man doesn't turn as the statue blossoms into fire.
The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Magran, no harm will come to you in her shadow, if that's enough of a promise for you. If not...
A staff rests easily in his hand. It wasn't there a moment ago. I didn't catch your name or why you want to speak with me.
I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from, or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own, Watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
How did you know I was a watcher? Durance shakes his head. His hand curls tightly on his staff. I can see the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away, one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own, watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours. All tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
You saw my soul in the flames.
There's things we can teach each other, if you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their mewling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable. Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you.
What kind of marks?
Disease? Spirit wind? Both could have touched you, yet here you stand. As for disease, not all of us were close to water when the pox hit, but it's no longer a passenger in my flesh. It left its marks as well. But like flames, the pox doesn't strike twice, nor is it catching.
If your stone mistress there allows it, then come on.
Her? Don't fear her jealousy. Let us see what the road holds, Watcher.
Oh, the stone statue has ceased to flame. A statue of Magran, goddess of war and flame. Dozens of names have been scratched into the stone at her feet, supplicants seeking her blessing. Yeah, it goes 0 to 100. Like, there's kind of a more of an introduction for each character, but then Durance is just like, hi, I'm here. I'm in the party now. You can refuse him, of course, if you just aren't the type to take on new party members, I suppose. But the, be a little odd to exclude him, I think. How does Durance work again? He's a Deerwood clergyman. Level 3, more or less identical to the other party members. Emphasis on might, which we have to remember is also an offensive spellcasting stat, not just a general stat. Lower dexterity and perception, higher intelligence and resistance, or resolve I mean, which is kind of like resistance actually. Very high resolve for that matter. I feel like his stats are straight up higher than the rest of the party. But I might just be getting that impression from his reduced dexterity and perception, pumping up the other ones even a little bit more. He has pretty good might, constitution, intelligence, and resolve. What is he using for a weapon right now? At the moment, he's just wearing a robe. Only 3 DR, but 12 DR against fire specifically. So he's unusually resilient to that. 2 constitution. Wait, 3 more fire DR? What is his fire DR then? Does he have 12? I think, yeah, he does. There's 12 down here. I'm not sure what's happening with that. That's confusing. What is that notation based on? 3, Durance's robe, plus 3, Durance's robe, plus 100% armor efficiency. Okay. If I look at that, I'm like, okay, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 100% would be 12. So internally that makes sense. But I don't know how that correlates with 3, 12, 3. Is this totaling after these 2 plus the armor efficiency bonus? Is that how you get 12 here? Is that showing that up within this tooltip? I don't know. That would be really weird to have that within the logic of the interface that's showing the 100% bonus from armor efficiency, but only for that one stat and not the other stats, potentially. So I don't know where this 12 is coming from. If I just saw, oh, DR3 and then 3 against fire, then I'd be like, okay, I can tell where this came from. But it's almost like this is being ignored. Or it's like these are going in and calculating here, then going back onto the item itself to show 12. And that gets recursive where you can't tell where the original number comes from anymore. I don't know. I don't know if I just sound crazy or what, but I'm like, that sounds like a confusing way of notating that kind of information to me, at least. Let's make you fiery colored, because you default to being the same colors as Aloth. And that's immediately getting too confusing. I would like to have them default to different colors to some extent. Although I might want to pick new colors for Edair, if that's the case. Maybe he should be gold. Like across the board. That might be good colors for him. Both because of the blonde hair and the straw emphasis and being from the farms and so on. And then you can be more overtly red and dark red and so on. More explicitly fire-oriented. And maybe I'll make you more overtly blue. Since I'm the purple guy at the moment. Coming up with a vague color scheme here. Okay. That's enough focus on that for now. We've got ourselves a party. And Durance is not especially resistant to damage, so we should probably have him in the back. Along with Aloth. They seem to both specialize in ranged attacks.
Nice and slow.
I didn't actually look at this. West to Gilded Vale, south to Aslog's Compass, east to Black Meadow. Ah. It seems like east is distinctly off the route for everything else. Just trying to kind of interpret one of them as being side content, and it's a little hard to tell. But I think that might be more east, the east might be more off the beaten path. And going south seems like it goes towards the rest of the campaign. So good priority, I think, is to go east first. These wolves should pose like zero threat at this point. Oh! Okay. That is admittedly a lot of wolves.
Great.
I admit that is a lot of wolves. And one of them died already. I barely will have time to even try to attack them with specific things necessarily. And I can do one of these. There's a nice group of them together there. Let's learn. Oh god. Oh no! Here's where it gets really complicated. Yep. Yep, here's where it gets complicated. At least wizards have the freaking good graces to only let you memorize a few spells at once, but the fucking priests have every spell at once. So we have a priest now, which is good for healing and stuff like that, but bad for my sanity, because here's where it goes off the rails really quickly on how much you have to learn every character's abilities, because this guy has so many spells, and he knows them all at the same time. Okay, so he also has Athletics Second Wind. His is only 28, because his Athletics sucks. Holy Radiance. This is the priest-specific spell that's been mentioned, where it's based on how much you adhere to your ideology, which I think is only a concern for your protagonist and not for side characters, because they're going to behave according to their ideology regardless, because they're pre-written characters. Accuracy 25. Once per encounter, creates a field of holy energy around the priest, burning any vessels in the vicinity and regenerating a modest amount of endurance for allies. The power of a priest's holy radiance is modified by how well his or her reputations align with the preferred behaviors of his or her faith. So all of my allies gain 16 endurance, all of my enemies take 40 burn damage for over the course of 4 seconds, and maybe could become frightened, which just hurts some of their stats, basically, including one of the resistance ones. That's a long frighten. That's also a lot of damage. Oh, only vessels. I don't know if I fully understand what vessels mean. Does vessels refer to anything that can contain a soul? Burning any vessels in the vicinity and regenerating a modest amount. Let's check the in-game codex. I can research these things. Journal, notes, cyclopedia, bestiary. Deities? No. Lore, locate, lore? No. Combat mechanics, technically, but no. No. If I can look this up, I'm not sure how I would do it. I might have to look it up separately outside of the game to Google what vessels means, terminology-wise. The only reference to a vessel we've had so far was that the human bodies that turned into dust left behind, like, vessel dust or something. So is that a specific unit type that is vessels? Might be. It might be like how priests have the ability to hurt undead, or priests and paladins often can hurt undead enemies specifically, but then otherwise that spell doesn't really affect anybody else. So maybe that's what it means, is there's a unit type that's vessels, and otherwise these guys won't take damage. That's probably the case because that's way too strong. 40 damage is way too much damage to do to in an AoE that's this big. So it's probably primarily a healing spell that happens to also help with vessels. Alright. Let's just... I think I'm just gonna let this autopilot itself a bit. This is going so smoothly that I don't think we're in that much risk. And I can do this again, which is fun. Knocking me in my ass. Alright, this is a good time for me to do Holy Radiance to heal the party up. That just took some damage. Oh, Durance just went down. I've underestimated the threat here. Yep. Yep. Don't let them get maimed or they're gonna be in deep shit. I like that it still shows up the ouch notification because I technically have lost every time it happens. So yeah, here's what went wrong. I got to this stage of the fight, and what happened is I didn't tell everybody to I didn't tell everyone to attack the same target. So they should have been focus firing, and they haven't been. Which means my advantage I kind of started with was kind of thrown away. I can't quite AoE them all with it. I can do these 3. That's something. Otherwise, I can go for the summon, which also helps. Because it'll give them a new target to fight.
I fear we've lost the angry one.
I fear we've lost the angry one. Okay, no, I'm actually about to get killed by wolves. This is immediately bad. I've made a terrible mistake by not managing this fight as much as I should have because I thought it was going too smoothly, basically. Alright. Let's focus this wolf with you two, because otherwise we have to deal with the fact that you're gonna go down too quickly. And have you two focus... Have you both go on this guy. Because we need that guy to go... We need one of them to die immediately. And there goes the protagonist. Okay. I let that... Yeah. I let that simulation run for too long. Without interfering. I should have been more aggressive at making sure we're doing this correctly. Okay, so the new target's this guy. Live and learn. In this case, the mistake was that I didn't micromanage their targets well enough, so they wandered around and started attacking whoever the hell. Which is a huge problem. But Adair can probably just casually survive this fight. So we seem to be fine. He can't seem to hit me. It seems Adair's defenses are strong enough that they can't really do much to him. He just took 1 damage. I think that... If I were to guess... Yep, they're doing minimum damage against Adair, which pretty much nullifies the fight for him. But 2 of my characters got downed. Alright, let's be more careful. Made the mistake of being like, it's trash mobs. I probably don't need to sit here and like try to use all my abilities and,
Nice and quiet.
you know, stuff that would require me to rest afterwards. But then but losing health also incurs the consequences of resting, so do at your own risk, I suppose. I guess I've committed to checking out this chunk of map here. Hello, person. Oh. Hello there. Begging your pardon, but you gave me a good fright. I thought I heard something rustling through the brush. Suppose that was just you. Silly of me. Don't suppose you happen to need some supplies? I thought I'd make my way over to Modmer Bridge. But I'm starting to think I'd be better off heading back to town and getting a few more folks together. Better safe than sorry, right? Say, did you hear something? Uh-oh. I'm under attack right now. Oh look, I'm under attack right now. Alright, well. Get him. Get up front, melee character. Alright, could you go away, tree? I straight up can't see my own characters. I think there might be a... Occulted by the environment. There we go. Now I can see him through the stuff that's blocking him. That's kind of helpful. I might be a little severe. It's not the most pretty looking effect, but at least I can see Adair besides trying to click between his circle and his health bar, and that's more ideal. Alright, he seems to be alone. I don't see any other enemies coming. Maybe because I just took out all those wolves, I just like gimped that fight, basically. That could be the case. Let's screw him up. Let this run for a bit. Oh, he's probably not gonna last. We're probably fine, right? He's very focused on not the tank, though. It'd be nice if Adair could do anything about that. Alright, well... Holy Radiance! Why not, right? Once per encounter. Near death. I'll make you near death. Yeah, he should be very dead at that point. And we got another wolf hide. Alright. Well, that wasn't very nice. Say, you should probably head back, sir. You seem to be defenseless. By every star in the sky, thank you. I've never seen these beasts so bold before. Strange times we're in. Here, take these. I'm headed back to Gilded Vale for certain. You can make better use of them. 3 potions of minor endurance. Nice little health recovery items. Boy, Durance has low health now. In fact, a number of us have been damaged at the moment. What was he standing next to? Got like a rug on a stand, and he seems to have just abandoned it at the moment. A little odd, but okay. Sun's coming up. Huh. Isn't it nice out now? Oh wow, if I had talked to that guy before coming here, I could have been fighting that entire squad without even having the caster in my party. That would have been different. That's a big spike of endurance right there. Along with my Eldritch Aim. Honestly, I want to put these on the tank, so that if he gets in trouble, I can try to pick up the mess. But we'll see. First, he needs to learn to tank better by actually having more ability to pull people towards him. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to put him in that aggro 3 guys at once mode, which would have improved certain people's chances, potentially.
Yeah.
That probably would have been for the best. Should I rest yet, though? Maybe not. But that was already up at the top corner at that point. Let's see if I can poke around the map a little bit more. Always good to explore these places. Never know what you might find. Kill. Kill it dead. Kill it to death with your stabby bits. Yes. Come on, it's one wolf. Surely you're fine, right? There you go. There are plentiful wolf hides around here. 120 experience. Bestiary progress. 600 out of 720 progress for learning about wolves, apparently. So that's how the bestiary works. You grind against a particular enemy and you unlock, after a certain experience limit is reached, you unlock the knowledge of said creature. And we're getting there. The question is whether or not said knowledge leads to your characters gaining an aptitude of any kind, or if it's just a lore entry. Your reflection warps and twists in the live, gleaming Aedra. A fine greatsword, you say? I'm gonna put that on my character. I'm pretty sure it's just an upgraded version of what I have right now, right? Yeah. +2 minimum damage, +3 maximum damage, +4 accuracy. Oh yeah, so it's +4 accuracy, +15% damage. And it's otherwise the same weapon. Massive increase in value as a result. Yep. Oop. And its physical appearance changes with the quality. That's a nice touch. Go and put that away. Alright, protagonist. You have an improved two-handed weapon. And these maps so far are not huge. Means it's relatively quick to poke around and see if we're missing anything. Which is generally to its benefit. Come out, nasty wolves. Oh. Young boars. Uh-oh. Is there a mama boar? Somebody was kind of detecting us, but then stopped. Thank goodness for fast mode, for when I want to just cautiously poke around. Alright, fast mode disabled. How about we plan our attack? Young boar, boar. There's mama. Alright, it'd be a good time to start actually reading these skills, one by one, that we can use. Armor of Faith creates a tangible shield of faith, increasing damage reduction of all allies in the area of effect. Hello. 3.2 meters, that's a pretty big effect. That would be a good one to cast during the fight. How long does it last? For a very long time. Okay. Let's start with that one, because that's a pretty good one.
How may I?
Sure.
Okay, nope, big fight happening, and they're all focused on you. Okay, so you do that and activate your I actually hold aggro as a person move. Ah, shit. There we go. Okay. You will also focus that guy, because we're all going to focus that guy. But you, not you. You're going to cast Armor of Faith, so it affects the entire party here. That seemed like it went fast. Alright, so he's still casting it. You're gonna you're gonna cast combusting wounds on these guys. Maybe in a moment. I need them to settle in. Now it'll affect all of them. So that should be good. Because combusting wounds is a foe AoE. So it specifically does not hurt my enemies. My allies. Get you to get a little closer. And Holy Radiance. Because there's some spikes of damage happening here that I'm not psyched about. And you're going to make it so every bit of damage we do is even stronger. And you're going to knock Boar on his bory ass. On his Aurora Borealis ass. You've already casted Combusting Wounds, yes. So we're good. Everyone's going to focus fire the same... Uh-oh, when a character's health bar begins flashing red, it's a sign they may be maimed or killed. Rest at an inn or use camping supplies to fully restore health. Okay. Too much focus on this character is happening right now. That's bad for me. He has not successfully... Yeah, he's not in good shape. He's my protagonist, so that's not very helpful. Let's see if I can try to reverse the situation. There we go. It's not helping his health, though, just his endurance, which does not fully shield your health. And the exact relationship between health damage and endurance damage, I'm not really clear on, but he is definitely taking health damage, and I do not want it to reach 0. If health reaches 0, the character will immediately drop. Depending on her difficulty settings, the character will either be maimed or killed. A maimed character suffers severe combat penalties and will die if they take any additional damage. Killed characters are just dead. And in Pillars of Eternity, there is no coming back. So yeah, this game is permadeath. So I should avoid that in general, but especially with my protagonist, because that would be very bad. So we're going to want to rest. Although frankly, if a major character dies, that mostly means you've lost this fight. You should time to go back to an old save and win the fight. Depends on the kind of player, I suppose. That's a hell of a blow that could happen at any corner. So if I committed to every player death that ever happened, I would quickly run out of characters, probably. But that is a fun idea for a playthrough. You're not even attacking anyone right now, are you? I want you to knock this boar on her ass. Mama boar needs to be stopped. And I need you to be actually attacking these guys so we can clear through them. That heal worked at the moment. We have not stored up any chance at the moment. see what I can do to damage their accuracy at the moment, because I would like to not lose my protagonist. There we go. There we go. Significant turnaround. Hello, Chanter. A bit late, but you're ready to make a mess out of this character. It missed the boar. Cool. Completely ineffective. God damn, every time he hits me, I lose a decent chunk. Damage reduction is something worth investing in. Oof. What does it say? Swollen eye. I've been injured. Suffering penalties to perception. That must just be from taking a certain amount of damage at once or getting low enough on health that you then suffer an injury that heals over time. Or from resting or something.
Right.
Not my best moment. All right. Tempting to keep going, but I should probably rest before I go any further, or I'm going to lose characters. Oh, not everyone gets to pick other things. Most people don't, actually. Plus 20% healing received. That's neat, but 1 damage reduction is also pretty good. I don't know. I'm not sure how the math works out there, to be honest. You both have that option. But unfortunately, he can't have a camping bonus at all.
Huh?
Alright, everyone's better. Even a swollen eye, right? Yep. Just got his resting bonuses. So we've used up the first resting period for Deerwood's Pride. So if we rest one more time, we'll lose the 2 resolve that 2 characters in my party have. Because this guy doesn't even have that. Let's turn that off, because he's not currently in a fight. I should talk about that as we go, because it affects our performance.
I shall be discreet.
But there's not necessarily a default right answer. I guess in many cases he's more likely to be fighting more guys than one guy. But keeping it on by default and then turning it off when we fight one dude is probably more efficient, I guess. Yep. Gold-packed paladins. We'll get to that in a minute. Woo! A will-o-wisp. Okay. Immune to disease, ground, hobbled, poison, prone, sickened, and stuck. So basically immune to effects, more or less. You can't wound a bodiless creature, and you also can't really make it sick. Makes sense, more or less. It appears to be one enemy, so let's turn off Defender. Okay. Did I ever actually cast this spell I tried to cast earlier? Or did it not go off because he got interrupted by a command or something? That might have been the case, because I was going for damage reduction, but I think he had 4 and 2 before. But I think I just didn't cast it last time. Barbs of Condemnation. Punishes a target for their sins, decreasing their deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. Also does a bunch of pierce damage, while reducing all defenses. Pretty strong. Blessing. +5 accuracy on allies. A call for divine favor that increases accuracy and damage of allies in the area of effect. Divine Terror. Strikes fear into the hearts of the unworthy, inflicting a penalty to accuracy on all enemies in the area of effect. Halt. Commands a single enemy to halt, causing them to temporarily cease all movement, which we can't use on this guy. Holy Meditation. Friendly AoE, 30 concentration, 15 will for a while. The priest clears his mind, spreading that clarity to nearby allies, thereby increasing their concentration and will bonuses. Prayer against fear. Steals the mind of allies in the area of effect against all external fears, granting immunity to the frightened and terrified afflictions. Immunity to frightened and terrified. A lot of them are thankfully situational, so I don't need to actively think about them all the time. Just remember to look for them when a specific problem comes up. Here's an actual heal. 13 endurance, which is not a lot over an area. Shows a portion of the caster's divine strength, restoring some endurance to all allies in the area of effect. So it's weaker than this one. Or that's 16. It actually might not be weaker. It is weaker. Not very strong heals overall. A lot of these characters have self heals that are stronger. Withdraw. Isolates a single target from within a protective sphere, shielding them from harm while their endurance regenerates. Friendly target becomes invisible for 25 seconds, gains 100 endurance over 25 seconds, and stasis shield for 25 seconds. Wow. I assume that they can't be in the fight at that point. I don't know, I can't highlight stasis shield or invisible to actually look into what that means in this particular game. But a character being invincible for 25 seconds and able to still fight would be seemingly overpowered, so they probably are also removed from the fight. And 25 seconds is a long time to exclude somebody from the fight, so at first glance I'm like, oh, this is super powerful, but it's only it's only like 4 endurance per second for 25 seconds as you completely remove a guy from the fight, which is probably, it feels like it would hobble the party. Let's get to these ones in the future. Kind of metering it out. There's so many skills. Okay. Let's see how the fight's going first. Barely injured. Unfortunately, people get oh, badly injured already. Oh, we're good. It's dead immediately. Cool. Didn't want to spend anything on it if I didn't need to. I wasn't concerned how that was going to play out. Hello. Copper panned and lockpicks just stashed away in this weird little pocket. Did I not loot that? I did not. There we go. I keep approaching these areas badly because I'm using fast mode, which is actually counteracting the effort of trying to stealth around in the first place, which I am aware of. It's a mistake I'm making. It's because I don't quite have the patience to, like, pick my character with the highest stealth and slowly poke around and then call everyone over when I see something. Some mixture of my own patience crossed with the fact that I'm making a video, and that the smartest, most careful method could significantly increase exploration time. So I'm a little torn. We have a building to explore, and we have these paladins down here. I think they were dialogue friendly, so they might not be enemies. I don't remember if they have the... They might have had the same name as one of the potential factions I could be in, or whatever. I think I had a dialogue choice that was locked because it might have been... Was it Gold Pact related? It might not be. Let's just approach them. They say Gold Pact probably means they're mercenaries. There, that one. Get that one. Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, a Gold Pact is probably a mercenary, because their name is Gold Pact. Ludrana, and then 2 paladins. These guys might be dangerous. I have saved, so we have that going for us, I suppose. Everybody, focus fire that guy, please. Okay. Battlefield area has been established. Durance, do you have a melee weapon or something? Durance's staff. You're using a quarterstaff. I don't think I like that. I think I'll switch you to your rod in the future. That has a range of 10 meters. I feel like he should be in ranged range instead of melee range, because he's not very strong. But that's what's going on there. I saw a staff and didn't question it entirely. But I was thinking a staff with like a crystal in the end that shoots little spooty balls or whatever. Spooty balls? Whatever. Okay, I need multi-target enabled. Badly. And we need to destroy some dudes. In particular, it's a bummer that neither of them are attacking my tank right now. So let's try to punish the guy who's attacking Durance by knocking him on his ass, at least. If nothing else. I don't need to self-heal yet, so let's maybe not do that yet. Let's set up this friendly damage reduction, in particular so Durance doesn't die. And now that everyone's nice to be bundled up in a group like this, let's pull out some nastiness. This seems like a significant encounter, so let's blind these guys. I think it's time to whip out a level 2 spell on this guy. I think everybody has orders right now. You're about to cast the defense spell. You're about to cast a obscuring spell. You're about to knock somebody down, and you are mostly waiting for your 3 chance to come in. Okay. Aloth interrupted a paladin. That's nice. Curse of Blackened Spirit crits the Gold Pack Paladin, so he's blinded for like almost a minute. I was wondering what a crit does when it doesn't have damage. Okay. Yaskier, did Eder knock him on his ass or not? Did it not trigger? What's going on? I want you to take this guy out. He seems to not be doing it. Maybe I clicked something. And I think Durance is still casting the spell. Anyway, I don't quite need to do this yet. This will be worth more endurance than I've lost so far. Wait, you've already blinded them, so let's do the Aoe Attack now. There we go. A lot happening at once. Like a lot. Durance, yep, he casts Armor of Faith. So now these characters have damage, not you. Oh yeah, there's a lot more going on with these characters. Like this guy has the constant recovery on himself, which is an effect that's character specific. He's got Defender active, he's got 4 damage reduction from Armor of Faith, but he's also hobbled, but he has damage reduction from his sleeping too. What is his damage reduction at now? 12. That's a lot. That's a lot of reduced damage. Okay, so I want everybody focused on this guy to make sure he goes down. You are not at 3 songs yet, but you will be soon. Let's let it run for a moment. Okay. Now we're at 3. I'm gonna create a distraction down here. Hello, you. Deal with her, please. While we take out this paladin. I've taken some damage here. Let's do Holy Radiance to help out. Yeah, oh yeah. This ghost's just gonna take her out outright, which is very handy for us. Oh, she's gone. Oh yeah. We should be good now. That turned around very abruptly, didn't it? All set. Oh boy. That's a lot. Ooh, Grimoire. So let's give you that. You found a new Grimoire. Grimoires often contain spells that your wizards may not know. For a small cost, you can learn those spells from the description panel. You may also fill additional Grimoires with different spells. Place them in your wizard's quick item slots to switch with them, but be careful, switching Grimoires will temporarily lock wizards out of spellcasting for several seconds. Oh, that's weird. So when I use the D&D memorize spells mechanic to put like 4 spells on each tier, I can only... That's book specific, so I can switch to the other books. That would be a lot. Interesting. Yeah, money. Alright. Ludrana's orders. That's good to look at. Medium armor. It says Durance's robes. That's not what I'm currently equipping. It just compares to Durance no matter who I look at. Well, padded armor's familiar. Let's put that away in the stash. Oops. It won't let... I have to click the stash first. A wand. Might consider giving that to Durance so he can stop being in death range, because that's dangerous for me. No, not that. Let's put the resources away. Caro Golan. Remove Caro Golan Crash? What? Alright, let's read the description first. Made from a sacred and uncommon plant that grows deep in Ire Glanfath. Caro Golan is the name given to a mixture typically used solely for ceremonial purposes, or else by warriors going into important battles. It is said to open one's awareness to one's place in the world, raising one's ability to recognize and react to threats. Remove Crash. Oh, it's an addictive one. Yeah. It lasts 10 minutes. 20% focus gained. 10 bonus deflection. 20 reflex. -4 intellect. And then it gives you Caro Golan Crash for 10 minutes. No, after 10 minutes. It doesn't say how long the crash is for. Maybe until you rest. Maybe it hypes you up for 10 minutes, but then after that you're in with withdrawal symptoms, either until you rest or you take a Caro Golan again. Because that's why it says remove Caro Golan Crash, is that it has withdrawal symptoms that are treated by taking it again. Maybe give it to Eddair. That seems like it might help him tank better. Ooh, better shield. Let's put these on him, because they might be good options for him. These, I don't like the look of these helms. Let's just put these away. A generic mace, a great sword, grain. Yeah, these can go in the stash. We stripped them naked. They're gone. And also she exploded. There was what? Was it just the 2 paladins? I think it was. So 2 of them just died, but she exploded. A wand. And what do you have? A rod. Both of them are 2-handed. 10 to 16 pierce crush, 12 to 18 pierce slash. This one seems weaker, but you know, maybe there's maybe different stats. Maybe, I don't know, maybe these are more valuable stats to have. Pierce and crush versus pierce and slash. I'm not inclined to think so, because the mace also has competitive stats, but it in addition to has +3 damage reduction avoidance, which would be really powerful if the mace was also a powerful element. I don't know. Main thing is, let's switch you to a rod, because you're getting way too into that front line, and I'm not psyched about it. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking of a scepter, which is a ranged weapon. So scepters are ranged. It would seem this one does 1 more max damage, but the element changes. Crush slash versus pierce crush. Might be an improvement. The scepter doesn't seem especially unique to him. Ludrana's orders. It seems I have no choice but to provide you with instruction. Redrick's forces are spread thin, and the road to the wilds, to the south of Gilded Vale, lies unguarded. Given these favorable circumstances, I'm sure that even you can manage to handle a peasant or 2. The archers tell me that Kolsk's men made south after their escape. If you should happen to retrieve one of their number, I may be convinced to forgive your previous mistakes. For the last time, you are to keep clear of Defiance Bay. Know that if you cannot be trusted to acquire a useful specimen with even a modicum of discretion, I have no qualms whatsoever about using what materials I have at my disposal instead. Oh. Is the source. That's creepy. I can only assume they're talking about experimentation. If they're talking about grabbing people... grabbing proper specimens. Ah, these are all new spells for me. All 5 of these that are in her grimoire. That's handy. Ghost Blades. Learn spell. How do I learn spell? 100 copper. Excuse me? I guess enchantment also costs money. I don't know how this is explained in universe. I can only assume that it's a video game mechanic balancing decision and not necessarily an in-universe choice. That enchantments and learning spells when you're out in the wild with a book somehow cost money. I can only assume that it's a balancing thing because, you know, you tend to just be rolling in money eventually in these games. So that's probably it. We'll look into all these spells next episode. See ya.